Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So there's kind of been a lot going on, so I'm a little bit late to it. I mean, the global data download was a few hours ago? Well, 11 last night. So we're a little late to the global data download party, but we are here. So Carnival LR Omega Shenron is going to be coming out tonight on global. I believe he is only going to come out in a few hours here. So LR Omega's coming out, and then there's also it's kind of like a sub-EZA. I explained this before. These are essentially sub-EZA strength level characters, the Dragon Fist Kid Goku and then the GT Cell and Frieza, even though they do have their own actual EZA event that you can grind, right? So the full scope of characters in the data download are those four, and then LR Baby comes out next week, right? LR Baby is actually a fairly good EZA character. I do think that LR Baby is pretty solid, right? 2023 did have just a lot of good EZA characters overall, right? That was a huge thing. So, all right, we'll just go ahead and work through Proton's thread right here and talk about everything that's coming as we get to it. So, just a bunch of this stuff. Again, the next sort of thing that would come after this would be Dokkan Fest Android 17 and 18, the Tournament of Power 1, which is probably going to come somewhere around February 1st. Something like that. Okay, so we have the promo movie for Omega, and then we just get to LR Omega right here. So, LR Omega sucks. I mean, let's just get this out of the way quickly. He is pretty bad. And the reason he's pretty bad is because your win rate with this guy is going to be like 0% in any tough fight. In order for this guy to be like truly exceptional, and he can be, you're going to probably need most of this up right here. And I mean, that's tough because GT Boss's characters are not exactly good. By my estimation right now, we have, what, 2 good GT Bosses characters, LR Omega and Baby. Like when functioning on this team, only LR Omega and Baby I'd even consider good. I mean, they're very iffy. If you're able to transform with them, that could be good for, like, the Omega fight. This Baby wasn't made good enough. They weren't made good enough. Oceanus wasn't made good enough. They suck. Right, like, it's just like a comedy of errors with all these characters. Tech Sin was okay, but I mean, he's 2 years old now. He is 2 years old now. This guy was hanging on for a while, but I mean, he's an EZA from 3.5 years ago at this point, right? This guy EZA's in a couple of days. I mean, so we'll see how effective that HL Rildo can be. I think he'll help for sure, but it's like you can't. Like, dude, like, a real team is like, 23rd World Tournament Goku, recent busted Dokkan Fest, 8th anniversary LR, LR Bulma, busted ass LR, Piccolo Jr., LR Future Gohan, New Carnival LR, like that's what, like, a good team looks like. Not, alright, well, we'll use EZA Omega Shenron, who's was a decent EZA character 2 years ago. Right? No, it doesn't make a good team, really. So that's the problem with Omega, is this kills him. I spend every day talking about how much I love that LR Future Gohan and LR Sword of Hope Trunks don't have restrictions. You could kind of just pop their ass on, like, any of these teams that they could go on, and they could, like, contribute significantly. Villains needed that type of character way more, Omega, and we didn't get it. Now, on the GT Bosses team, the thing about it is that I do think Omega's performance is pretty good because he's going to have all that damage reduction. He's a Rainbow Orb Changer. He does have a Revive as well. Like, these are good abilities. He doesn't do damage at all. This guy is, like, doing negative damage. Like, it's really bad. After he revives, and unfortunately it's not like 23rd World Tournament Goku's where it's, you revive or an ally revives. It's only one Omega could have their ability up, and again, you pretty much have to be running Omega's team. So, it's just like, this is the worst designed character of the year, the weakest character of the year. Because I mean, how can a character be strong if you lose every single time you use them? Like, right? Like, I don't know. So it's just bad. Now, if there is a boss that could be debuffed, Omega is the guy for the job. We have the minus 25% right there. His active skill you could do on turn 3 if they're debuffed, and then hits him with another debuff and an attack break. Then he has more debuffs and stuns and seals and stuff. Like, he can lock enemies down. Omega really is probably the best character in the game for the Vegito Blue Gods and Mortal event stage fight. That Vegito Blue is very tough. Omega locks that shit down like almost no other character can. But like, that's like, is that really what the purpose of this guy was? To lock down that Vegito Blue? It just seems odd. I don't know. They could have made this guy like the savior of villains. He could have been, right? He was close. I mean, you change this to like extreme class ally, and then maybe even give him guard on this. Maybe someone would scoff at that, but that's like literally what Bulma has, right? Like, that's it. Change this to extreme, and then give him guard, and oh my god, this dude is a domination is what he would be. He would be so crazy. So crazy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, when I was growing up, this was the final boss of Dragon Ball. Was this guy. For 20 years or something like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, they could have just made him #1 overall best unit in the game, and nobody would have complained. Nobody would have been mad. Nobody would have been upset. At least he does have good animations, though. His animations, I think, are pretty good. Let me pull his banner up real fast. Hold on. Let me just grab this. All right, guys. So this is what we're working with here. Oh! Whew! Whew! Oh! Oh! Yeah, I can't really recommend summoning on this. This Carnival Goku, by the way, is hurt badly. What? By what? Answer, fast. Because he has one of the worst mechanics in the game. Get hit to be able to tank, a.k.a. terrible. Right? So that hurts him badly. That is not an ability that ages very well whatsoever. So this is just an easy skip. I mean, maybe this will be adjusted and Carnival Goku and Carnival Kid Gohan will show up on here. I mean, they are very good for the Omega boss fight, which is dropping with this guy. So, I mean, we'll see. But, I mean, this is just god-awful. Rapid Growth Extreme Super Battle Road is coming up as well. Some of these Super Battle Road stages, I don't even remember. I almost want to pull it up. Bro, I don't remember this. Let's pull it up. Let's see. All right. Okay. 5 months ago, we're looking at here. All right, guys. All right, shut up. Past me. All right, let's skip. Let's see what we got. Let's just look at the team build we rocked with this. Oh my god, tell me I show it. No. No, I don't tell me I forgot. No. No, you better past me. You better click that button. Click it. Click it. This guy's trolling. There it is. So that's what we used. Oh, double Khalifa. Okay. Well, there's that run. Yeah, dude, I think this is just my initial, like, runs in this. Okay, yeah. A lot of these, like, Super Battle Road stages and Extreme Super Battle Road stages, it's not what it once was, where these used to be, like, very, difficult, right? Like, Super Battle Roads aren't really built like that anymore. Alright, so then we get this, the Omega Shenron fight. I think that this is the second hardest fight in the game. I've gotten a lot of pushback from that, but I'll just tell you guys that you're wrong. I mean, just like I think pretty clearly. I think this Omega is like really underrated. Here it is right here. The reason for this is I still do not see anyone talking about this guy. This guy is the problem. Specifically, pretty much STR Omega right here. Because of the type coverage. This guy, I mean, he does the Fusion Zamasu. Anyways, the same damage. Literally the same damage as Fusion Zamasu. But obviously, this is like turn 8 or 9 or something like that, right? But he does 3 of these. And then, of course, he's got the big debuff on his super attack. He has the very, very fast cooldown, and he attacks 1,000,000 times. Like, he's just problematic. So, it's like these AoEs, I mean, it's not just free because you're here on, like, turn 7, turn 8, turn 9, something like that. This is still tearing up most of the game. These AoEs from Omega. So, you're tempted to bring physical characters, but you bring these physical characters, LR Beast Gohan, Path to Power Kid Goku, Sword of Hope Trunks, Turles, they all get blasted by this guy right here. Because what happens with him is this is a 0 cooldown boss. He attacks 9 times. And his super attack damage, it's not that crazy, but when you put this 50% attack buff on it, it hits really hard. And then this 50% attack buff, and then this guy has the hardest hitting AoEs in the game. Well, the AoE normals. This guy, he's hitting harder than in Omega's AoEs, he's hitting harder than Fusion Zamasu's AoEs. But it's like a huge kind of like roulette here. Because it's like where his super attack placement is dramatically affects how much damage he's doing, right? But it's pretty crazy. If he supers right away and then he's got AoEs, I mean, again, you got Sword of Hope Trunks, Beast Gohan, Turles, like these units are getting obliterated. They're getting just blown away. This guy is a threat. Omega's a tough fight, right? Like it's like I don't know. Like Red Zone Goku Black is like certainly strong. He does a lot of damage, but like it's pretty easy to just like dodge his super and then you're good, right? Like he doesn't exhibit the pressure of like 2 AoEs per turn right here into 3 AoEs per turn right here, right? That are doing all this damage to all these characters before they could even get their defense. The thing about it is, 99% of characters get significant defense when they attack. And I mean, just how it is, that's they just make these AoE bosses who hit you before you're able to do that, and then you're taking a lot of damage, and you can't really do too much about it. So, Omega has the same thing that Fusion Zamasu's got, which is these powerful AoEs, which is very, very, very difficult. So there's that. There's the Omega fight. There's a couple of missions as well. This is good. You guys, this is a fun fight. Whereas Fusion Zamasu could certainly be very frustrating, very annoying when you just load in and it's instant death. The thing with Omega is it's like, you get to turn 9 and then in Omega one-shots you. Like, it's like, whereas like Fusion Zamasu, it's kind of like a lot of times the fight starts and you get instantly one-shot, pretty much, right? Then we have the EZA for Cell, Goku, and Frieza. I mean, we could just quickly pull up their details here and just take a quick glance at them. I do not find that these characters to be worthwhile at all. They just simply do not have enough. This is not how you make GT bosses a competitive team. Look at this. Look at this. This guy would need a bunch more. Like, he should be supporting... Like he should be supporting these categories. I don't care that this is a sub EZA level character. I don't care. This is a GT bosses character, and they just released a free to play LR GT bosses character as well. Like, if you're gonna make a Carnival LR built around this team, then they could make it a real team, right? Like making this Frieza busted does not make Dokkan lose money. They would gain money because then people would look at GT bosses as a more viable option. They would look at summoning for Carnival Omega as a more viable option, with this guy being better, with GT bosses being better, right? Like, I mean, maybe it's boring, but, you toss support on this guy, multiple turn support, guard, damage reduction, any of those types of abilities. I don't see why, like, a sub-easy, like, this guy can't be guarding if the entire team is GT bosses, right? Boom. Easy. That's all you got to do. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, you just look at that. He sucks. He's not really that good. I mean, you could run him against Fusion Zamasu maybe because he's physical. That's it, probably. And then Cell, kind of the same thing. I mean, these guys are just like very iffy. I don't know why they couldn't have made them a little bit better. They should have, but it is what it is. And then this Goku. I mean, he does have the guaranteed to hit and the crit, and he is guarding for the first couple of turns, but like, the big GT boss fight, that guard for 3 turns doesn't really super cut it. And remember, just guarding alone is not like the craziest. Like I feel like this guy, like, if his guard wasn't turn restricted, like, maybe you could run him against like Omega or something like that. But I found this guy to not be that crazy, unfortunately. So there's them. We have medals for the characters. Cool. Then we have Super Baby 2, who's weak to full power. I actually do like Super Baby 2. He kind of like in his base form, he's pretty basic, right? Just like key and stats. He gets extra stuff against pure and hybrid Saiyans like they do with every single baby character, it seems like. But he can get even more crit, but this is where he gets really interesting. Is if your HP falls below 40%, you get this dodge, you get this defense. But he also has the benefit, by the way, of a lot of good links and a lot of categories. But he's a Grid Ape character. This is kind of like special utility. Like the GT Boss's team, like kind of like the special utility, like, I don't know, special abilities, is pretty much just Omega's Revive and then Baby's Great Ape, right? Like, that's pretty much all you've got. These Great Apes will turn the fight. You guys know how that works. Canceling boss AoEs, boss heals, boss super attacks. Very, very impactful, those transformations are. So I like Baby. I think he's just a fairly solid EZA. We've had a couple of these EZAs in 2023 that I think are just like fairly solid. So there's that. There's a burst mode for the STR Omega Shenron Dokkan event. I thought it was fun. Burst mode and kind of like those early weird Dokkan events are usually pretty fun. We have Patan as well. Then there's some tickets for Omega's banner. They updated the assets for his Awakening medals. Okay. Sure. And then they added Dan in. Wow, okay. I guess maybe that'll be playing over the next couple of weeks. So there we go. There is the global data download. That's what Global's going to be getting for the next, essentially, 2 weeks. Next stuff that'll be dropping after this should be, again, the 17 and 18, which eventually will lead into LR Ribrian next month. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.